Hey guys, it's Allie Edwards and I'm back with a process video for week 2 in Project Life for 2018. In this video, I am using a variety of different products, some from my story kit, some from the Stories by the Month kit. Some are old, some are new, just kind of a nice big combination. One of the things that I'm planning to do this year is use some of the gold foil quotes. These are on black and these were sold as part of the One Little Word release, and if they're still available I will link them to you below. It's kind of a nice way just to begin some of the weeks. I won't use these for every week, but it'll be spread throughout my album in 2018. As always, or as almost always, I have my photos in the pockets first. That's kind of the way that I like to begin, and I will pull, as you'll see in the video, I'll pull them out, add things on them, put them back in. That's a pretty regular part of my process. For this week, it's part vacation. So for the second half of the week, we were in Mexico, just Aaron and I this time. And this week, I decided to print my 4x6 pictures with a white border on there. This again is something that I do sometimes. I use a Picturemate PM 400 printer. It's a little printer that prints 5x7 and 4x6, and one of the options through Aperture, which is the program that I'm still using for my photo management stuff. When I print from there, sometimes I'm printing through Photoshop, but most of the time now I'm just printing from Aperture and using their editing tools in there. And one of the options is to have a white border on there. So that's what I did for this week. Other than that, I don't have a specific plan yet. I'm just going to be flipping through cards, flipping through products again. The story kit this month that we have available right now is the theme of change. This card right here in the story kit this month, that includes a pad of these, and I think I'm gonna throw that one in there this week, and then we'll see what else I add as we go. All right, so step one here was just taking those 2x3 story cards from the that were an add-on option for Story Stamp subscribers for the Changes kit, kind of laying those out, figuring out how many of them I was going to use and kind of where were they going to be. What I like to do with those rounded corner story cards is often, especially when I'm using them in Project Life as a repetitive element, I like to cut them off. So cut off the bottom of them and then adhere them or staple them, as is the case on here, onto the photos. And you'll see that in a little bit. I decided to start with the Yes card. That is from the January Stories by the Month kit. Actually, the one that was released in December, so the one that's themed for January. That does have a waiting list right now that you can jump on and get those when we have upped our stocking level, which should be soon as well. So adding a little bit of words on to there, getting my story down, just writing with pen this week. That was what I decided to do, just keep it simple and do handwriting on those. I also added a clear word phrase sticker that was part of the For the Love kit, story kit last month. Or a couple months ago, last month, I guess. So next up then, I added a chipboard piece onto that top photo and cut off the top. And then there you can see how I stapled one of the story cards to the bottom of that photo there, and then am adding on my journaling right into that space. A lot of times when I'm journaling in these, when I'm looking at the photo, I'm just using the photo as a jumping off point for telling the story. I'm just doing a little bit of additional information to give more context to the photo. So in this case, both girls, Anna and Audrey, are playing basketball this year. They're on a team together. So I wrote a little bit about that and how it's Anna's first time playing basketball, and Audrey played basketball last year, and then it's cool that they're on the same team, and that was basically the information that I had added on there to that photo. Same thing on this one of doing yoga, just a brief little bit of information about how we had landed in Mexico, and that was one of the things that I wanted to do when we got there that evening. This card right here was a add-on option for the Changes story kit, and we had a set that included one card for each month. So there were 12 cards, and on the bottom, on the top it has the month, and then on the bottom it says Embrace the Changes. So I'm planning planning on just including one of these cards each month in Project Life at some point or time, because there's always something to document about changes, right? There's always something changing. There's always something evolving. And so I went ahead and used that one on there. That thankful rubber piece that I am going to use my tiny attacher to staple onto my photo is from the fall rubber word set. We still have some of those available in the shop if you like those kinds of rubber words. And you can grab them now and be able to use them if you're working on past Project Life spreads, or even for right now, as you can see as I use it on there. I went ahead and used one of the pieces that I cut off of those story cards on the top there on this inspirational journal card. This was part of the One Little Word release this year, and you don't have to be doing one little word to pick up these cards. They're gold foil on black, and they're just inspirational quote cards, and I'm going to be using them throughout throughout my Project Life this year, kind of intermixing them here and there. I don't have a set, specific every 3 weeks or something like that, just when I feel like adding them in. But a great way to add the date onto the black is to just take one of those story cards and use the bottom. The other thing that I liked about that was that that's combining gold and silver together. I know sometimes people are like, oh, only gold or only silver, and I don't have any problem mixing the two of those together. So on this week's spread, you'll see that I have gold foil. I'll be using some gold foil embellishments as well, paired with those story cards. You'll see that in a little bit here. So I'm not feeling any fear of mixing those two together. I added a small black circle sticker to that Today's Goals card there. Today's Goals is actually from a paper pad, and I think I probably talked about that in the beginning of the video here, that's included in the Changes Story Kit. And so you probably see those pop up here and there throughout my album this year. And then the chipboard pieces that I've been adding on, those have been from the first Stories by the Month kit as well. Just kind of trying to use those up as I use the products up from that kit as I go about telling my stories this month. So simple and easy, and that's kind of the goal of that Stories by the Month subscription, is to give you products that you can use throughout the year on a monthly basis. So that's the idea there, and so far it seems to be working really well. And again, kind of using that repeated idea of adding chipboard pieces on and then trimming off a portion of it. I just like embellishments when they interact with the edges. And to me, I don't want them to just touch the edge. I want them to actually go over the edge. When they go over the edge, I like that much better than just if they're just touching each other. One of those, I think that one was like Make It Happen, something like that. I put that on that Yes journal card there. Another thing, I can't remember if I talked about this in the beginning of the video or not, because I recorded that one on another day. For the white borders here, some weeks I like to do white borders on my pictures, and the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer that I use has that option, so you can do borderless, or it will print with borders for you. I don't use Photoshop to create the borders or use a template or anything like that. It's actually just a part of the printing software, the options that come along with the printer. So I'm not doing white borders throughout the entire year, but I will do them some weeks. And that's what I've been doing for the last few years. And I like just having the option. Sometimes I feel like using them and sometimes I don't. So you'll see those mixed up throughout the year in my album. Getting additional details onto those photos and then writing a little bit about our adventure to Mexico on top of that Let's Do This card, and then underlining as well. So as most of you guys can tell, I usually write my journaling first, and then I just use my pen to underline. So sometimes people like to write the lines first or draw the lines first so that they have that they can write a little bit straighter with your journaling, but I just usually write first. It's messy enough as it is, and then add in the lines after the fact there. Added in a few more of those clear word stickers with some of the chipboard pieces, just kind of in a few random places as well. Those were really cool. Those were from, like I said, for the Love Story Kit. I'd like to do those again in the future with another release because I liked working with them. They turned out to be pretty cool. And then you can see here the last thing that I'm adding are those gold foil asterisks. These are included with the Changes Kit this month that you can still grab up until the until the 12th of February. That is still available via subscription there, and you can get more details about that from the link below or on my site under the subscriptions tab. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys here again soon.